God is here. Oh, and my mic's on. That's good. I mean, do you want to run recognition?
Yeah, I named Brown for that reason.
Like in the present.
Well, thank you everyone for being here. We're so excited to have everyone here. And we're excited to talk about and brag a little about all the good things going on in the district. And we're so proud of our partners and all of the people who help make East Baton Rouge Parish School System better every day. So I want to start off with our VIPS partner, recognition of St. James Episcopal Church. Mr. Hendon?
All right. Good evening. It feels good to be back. Well, as you know, partnerships centered within the neighborhood are vital to long-term success of our local schools here. Well, today we would like to recognize St. James Episcopal Church for the commitment they made to Park Elementary for the academic year regarding Reading Friends, the Reading Friends program. So I'm just going to touch on a couple main points that they have done so far and what they're basically planning to do for the school year. Over the summer, St. James hosted a successful school supply drive to donate to Park Elementary students on First Day Helpers. They also participated in First Day Helpers this year by assisting the school staff to ensure that their day went smoothly. They've hosted a VIPS recruiting event at their church and plan to host more soon to encourage members to get involved in the community. They have recently been working with VIPS to create new ways to give back to the community. And they've also planned to commit all of their members to the Reading Friends program for the full academic year. And so, as you know, partnerships such as this one, again, they're so vital to our community, and this is what we strive to do every day. So, yeah, I'll let them say a couple of words.
I am Father Drew Harmon. I am one of the priests at St. James, and I am the outreach committee liaison. We are the sort of one of the ways in which St. James is connected to VIPS, and it's our pleasure really to get to support the different efforts and to support students in our district in whatever ways we can. So it really is an honor and a privilege to help represent St. James today, and we look forward to a successful partnership in the days and weeks ahead.
It's awesome.
Right.
You sure this is your 2 minutes? This is your 30 seconds of fame or 15 seconds?
No priest can talk just 30 seconds.
Ah, I like it. I like it. Well, I appreciate so much everything that you all are doing. That is how we make our community better, and that's how we can really go after the problems that are really affecting our children. So thank you so much, and we're going to take a picture if that's okay.
Yeah, and on behalf of the school board and the superintendent, it gives me great pleasure, especially the two people I know very well, to give you these awards, medals for the outstanding work that you do for all of our children, because literacy is the biggest gift we can give our children. It really is, and without literacy, nothing else is possible. So thank you very much for all of your hard work.
Thank you, and that was a great speech.
Thank you. Probably, that's my congregation. It's the shortest. The important people in the middle. There you go.
You taking a call?
No, I want to take a picture.
What's it doing?
A good one for you.
Nice. Okay, so we move on to item number 2, Glasgow Middle Science Olympiad, team placing nationally and as state champions for 3 years running.
Good evening.
Good evening.
President Tapman, Dr. Narcisse, school board members. It's always a pleasure to talk about the wonderful and great things that we're doing in our schools. So I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce the fearless leader of Glasgow Middle School, Ms. Erin Howard, who will tell all the great things that are going on in Glasgow and acknowledge the accomplishments of her students. Ms. Erin Howard.
Thank you very much, Mr. Brickhouse. Hello, President Tapman, Dr. Narcisse, members of the board. It's always a pleasure to be here. I am thrilled to be the principal of Glasgow Middle School and to recognize my students. It is my pleasure to introduce you to the 2022 Louisiana State Science Olympiad team for Division B. It is made up of students from the best middle school in the parish, Glasgow Middle School. Throughout the year, they competed in several invitational meets, the state and national competition hosted by Caltech. While at nationals this past year, for the first time in the history of Louisiana Science Olympiad national participation, students in Louisiana placed nationally. Our students earned medals in the area of green generation, 3rd place overall nationally, and electric right stuff, a building and flying competition, 6th place overall nationally. The student medals have finally arrived, and we are happy to present Elizabeth Shue, Abigail Key, who's at a volleyball game, medals for the great job they did under the direction of Ross Yankee with their plane, and Julia Jung and Abigail Key for their quest in green generation. But I'd like to invite all the members of my team to come up with the coach, Dr. McFadder. And these are members from last year's team, so we have a couple of high schoolers coming back for a throwback middle school visit. Mingle, children, mingle.
A true principal.
Got to give directions. All right, do I have Abigail? Do I have Elizabeth? Do I have Abigail twice? And Julia? Your actual medals from the national competitions, guys. It's actually the same because, yeah, I know. I did the same thing. And I'll give Abigail both of hers when she gets back. Okay? Thank y'all. I'm coming.
And on behalf of the school board and the superintendent, thank you all for all the hard work that you've done and for putting up with Principal Howard, because I know exactly what that is like. But thank you all very much. And also thank you all to your parents who are here to support you, because they play a tremendous role in making that happen. So I won't give the individual medals to each one. I'll give them to Principal Howard, and then she can distribute them later for the entire team.
Yeah, the actual team is about 15 people, so we have volleyball games and other things going on. So you know how that works.
Congratulations. Good job. Thank you for all the work. I get behind here. Come back here.
And here's our other coach.
Before you break up, we have one more. Beautiful smile.
And Gators, President Tapman here behind me would like to introduce yourself. Y'all get to the group real quick. Come on, come on. No, no, I shall. Come on. Now.
Be shy.
See y'all on there, guys. Go ahead.
I'm Honda Reinen. I'm the team captain for Glasgow Middle School, and it's just an honor to be here, claiming the award and taking a trip down memory lane. So, yep.
That lane gets a lot longer when you get a lot over.
My name is Alexander Yang. Okay, that's it.
My name's Elizabeth. I just want to thank all the teachers that helped us on their team, because it wasn't just us, it was a lot of volunteers who came to help us, and Mr. Yankee, who is our electric ride stuff instructor, and I couldn't have done it without him.
Oh, wow, sweet.
My name is Cicely Liu. I go to Boundary China. Yeah.
I'm Julia Jung, and I also go to Banbridge Magnet.
Everybody.
Julia's dad has been instrumental in writing his grant and the startup grant, and for the past 3 years, he and his colleagues have supported 6 items. Julia's dad's not here.
Oh, Mom, Dad, yeah, Mom. Absolutely. That's amazing. Thank you.
Is that it?
Nope. 17 more. We still have one more, Dr. Narcisse. I'd like to take a moment to recognize our amazing state senator, Regina Barrow. Stand up and be recognized. Yay, Regina, thank you. Thank you for all you do for education, and thank you for the work that you do in the legislature, and thank you for being here. We really appreciate it. Okay, now we go to number 3, which is Woodlawn High drone certification. Yep, there you go. Hey, Ms. Wright, how are you?
Good evening.
Good evening.
President Tapman, Board, Superintendent. My name is Rosalind Wright. I am the Director of Magnet Programs here in East Baton Rouge Parish School System. And we are here today because during the 21-22 school year, 3 students from Woodlawn High School earned drone accreditation from the FAA.
Wow.
One of those students is here with us today.
Okay.
So is that student's teacher. So we would
Awesome.
like to recognize and honor them today. We would have Alma Rubio, a junior at Woodlawn High, and her teacher, Mr. Sproul, who is the Intro to Engineering and the Design and Drones teacher. Come forward, please. Mr. Sproul.
Okay. I'll be brief because I could talk about this program and Alma forever.
We have 45 minutes, so go ahead.
I noticed that. We're the last ones, so we can go. I think the most important thing, so I don't forget, is to recognize Alma for being the first magnet student at Woodlawn High School to get this distinction, which is no small thing. So the way this program works, and we've got stuff going on the slides, is there's 2 components to this. The first, and I'm not sure if it's the most important or not, is the certification from the FAA. And so the students spend a considerable amount of classroom time studying for this test. And it's basically a light version of the same test you would take to be a recreational pilot of an actual plane. They learn all about how airports work, radios, flight characteristics, a lot of safety. And one of the things that we really pride ourselves on is that we take all of this very seriously. When you talk to other programs across the nation and whatnot, you'll find a lot of people are real lackadaisical about some of the safety stuff. But this is real. This is an actual license from the FAA, from the federal government, with your name on it and a little hologram and everything that comes in the mail.
That's awesome.
That says you can do this. And the other big thing with this license is legally she can now operate a drone commercially. So this is in fact a business certification. Anyone can fly a drone, but if you make a single penny, you've got to have this license. And so now she has a whole world opened up to her as far as career or even just a side job. Which brings us to the second aspect of our program, which is the real life skills. As strange as this sounds, the test with the FAA actually has nothing about drones on it. You do not have to ever pick up a drone or fly a drone to get this license. That's on you. If you were an actual pilot of a plane, those are two separate certifications. You got your flight time and your book test. But with drones, they leave that up to you. So we spend considerable amount of time practicing job skills. And that has a huge range. There's the flashy stuff you see, like if you watch a lot of commercials on TV and whatnot now, you'll recognize anything coming from the air. That's not a helicopter or a crane. That's a drone. And so they'll make music videos and they'll fly around the school and stuff like that and make fun little promotional things. But there's also other big ticket items. And I say big ticket because these are the money makers. Industrial inspections. It costs a lot of money to inspect dangerous things at chemical plants. And we have a lot of that along the river. But drones don't have people. And so you can send drones into places that people can't go and make a lot of money doing that. And so we practice those things. They inspect lights. They look at, we did some roof damage inspections after some of the storms, things like that. But then also we want to expand our program as we get more funding and more materials. And when I say materials, I mean drones. There are other things that drones are being used for, like surveying. I'm sure you've seen people with those little things on the side of the road and they're pointing laser beams and whatnot. Well, drones have proven to be significantly faster, cheaper, and more accurate than humans. And then the other thing is search and rescue. We're actually working right now to try and get a drone that has thermal imaging capabilities. So when there's disasters and whatnot, and you're looking for survivors and things, you can do that with the drone. And so that's sort of where we're headed, and that's how we look at this program.
It's awesome.
Well, my name is Alma Rubio. I want to say have a good shout out to Mr. Sproul and Ms. Watson for always helping me, and not even on the drones pilot license to get it, just the study time and everything. They always been there for me, but also like academically in other things like my classes, English, my science, everything. They always been there for me for just hearing for me, like just giving me support and everything. So,
Thank
you very much.
Well, and I have a drone. I have a Mini 3.
This is a mini one.
Mini 1. Well, let's get together and we'll put a 3 and a 1 together and it's a 4, right? Yeah. But the other part of it is that's a big deal in Louisiana is agricultural, right? And it's become a real big deal because you can cover a lot of ground. And then you can look at the video of it later, right? You don't have to, it doesn't have to be real time, but it's amazing because it's a great resource and it's fun, right? Is not flying a drone fun? I mean, it's like, I love it. It's like my toy. But I'm so excited and so proud of you for doing this because this is one of the professions of the future, whether it's motion pictures, whether it's digital media, whether it's industrial application. So very proud of you and thank you so much and you all for the work that you're doing. So thank you.
And I would just also like to add very briefly that there's an outstanding future in bigger areas. My niece's husband started off flying drones like this, and now he is actually flying drones for the U.S. Air Force. He's stationed out in Nevada, and he can't tell me what he does or where he flies. I have zero idea, but it's all over the place. And he actually had to go through an abbreviated fighter pilot training He didn't get fully certified as, but they go through flight training on real airplanes and do all that in order to be qualified to fly the drones for the Air Force. So there's lots of things coming, and it's only the beginning for that industry. So congratulations, you have a bright future ahead of you.
Yep.
So let me just add one more thing why I'm really excited. So as you know, our high schools are going to be choosing 3 of the 5 pathways by December, right? So I'm just guessing that hopefully this is one of the pathways that are in that space. So each of the high schools across the city are choosing 3 of the 5 pathways. So if you choose technology, those things, I know that the principal, Stephen's going to go out and have town halls with Ms. Dyson to be talking through that. But the reason I bring this up is because these are the things we want to see happen more for our kids that go into a whole lot more profession. And we're just excited that you're paving the pathway to show when that happens, the opportunities are endless. And so kudos to the magnet coordinator, kudos to you as the teacher doing that. And our goal is to see this happening across our school system. So thank you for leading the way on that.
And before I do this recognition, I wanted to actually put someone on the spot and ask Miss Watson to come up and just talk about the as the brainchild of this venture.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Kyla Watson. I'm the magnet coordinator at Woodlawn High School. And I had seen in traveling with Magnet Schools of America on the conferences that we've attended, I've seen what other schools are doing across the country. And this caught my eye because I know that we don't have this program in EBR. The closest school that I could find was Walker, but other than Walker High School, there wasn't any other schools even in the South region. So they invited us out and trained us, and Mr. Sproul and I went for a crash 2-week session.
You don't say crash.
No, no pun intended. 2-week session, and we both earned our pilot's license as well. And that allows us to be able to teach this course at our school. There's so many aspects. We've had a couple of students that have left Woodlawn, graduated, and gone to Louisiana Tech, which has the flight program also. This, by having this licensure, they can already move ahead in their college profession if they wanted to continue as well. So after Mr. Sproul and I got together and we started looking at all the different applications that you could do with these drones, we realized that there's so many aspects. It's not about racing the drones or what tricks you can do. We wanted to give our kids a skill that they could turn around and leave and walk out of school with that allows them to make money right then and there. Alma could go out and open her own business right now, if she so chose, and she could utilize her licensure in any which way she wanted. And we want to try to give our students a wide breadth of all the different ways you can use it. So if they're into digital media or digital marketing, or if they wanted to do search and rescue, if they wanted to go into the military, in addition, just as you spoke about that, when we went, we brought our JRTC instructor with us, Colonel Keys, and he also got his licensure. So we kind of pair with that program at different times of the year, and they are also working on that because, yes, the military loves the drone licensure. I cannot thank you enough for fighting to have our magnet program at our school. We greatly appreciate that for our students. And the support that we get from the magnet department, this could have never come true without it. So thank you.
So thank you all for coming today. I've been waiting for this, and I just was so excited when I got the news that we had the first certified drone operator in the district and at Woodlawn High School in our magnet program. And yes, it was an 8-year fight to get a lot of things out to District 6 and a 3-year fight to get the magnet programs at the middle and the high school. And it's been such a great thing for our community to provide choice right there close to home. And these programs and this level of instruction and devotion from our teachers and administrators is just wonderful. And I just can't thank all that have involvement in this enough. And I do hope that we can, will narrow down and include this in one of the pathways because it's already there and we're already doing great things. And so please come and accept this medal from the superintendent and all of us on the board. We are so proud of you and Woodlawn High School. And thanks for representing us so well and achieving this goal. Thank you. Get a photo instead of just get I'm trying to get.
Yeah, but you can sit right in the middle.
And Dad.
Come on, Dad.
Come on, Dad.
Come on. Right here with Dad. Right there. I'm standing. Oh, go stand there. There you go.
Proud of you for supporting her so well.
One more. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Congratulations. I'm so proud. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's okay, I have more going. There's more talking.
Yes, good.
All right.
like to open the meeting for the East Baton Rouge Parish School Board for Thursday, October 20th, 2022. We will begin with the invocation, and it will be led by Mr. Goday, and then we will go to our Pledge of Allegiance, and our cadet will be introduced by Lieutenant Colonel Raphael Morrison. So please rise.
Our Heavenly Father, please make our actions tonight be fair in your mind and guide us into doing the things that are right for children, because they are the reason for our existence. In this name, we ask you to give us your blessing. Amen.
Amen.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
Good
Good
evening.
evening. How are y'all doing, man? Nice crowd today. All right. Mr. Tatman, Dr. Narcisse, esteemed members of the school board, it's my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce one of the outstanding JROTC students at Terra High School. Cadet Captain Quincy Brady is a senior, and he's in his 4th year in our JROTC program, and he currently serves as the company commander for Echo Company and is a member of our Raider team. He is also a member of the Trojan Explosion Band, which is the second best band in the land next to Southern. Cadet Brady is no stranger to these proceedings. I think he's done these every year since he's been in the program. So he's one of our best and our brightest. And he's here once again as the district's Let 4 Cadet of the Year. Cadet Brady currently has a GPA of 3.8 and ranks 3rd in his class. He has joined the Marine Corps Reserves. Apparently, we did a horrible job in the past 4 years because he didn't go Army. And upon graduation, he will attend Marine Corps recruit training. His ultimate goal is to be a Marine Corps pilot. Cadet Brady epitomizes what we look for in a JROTC cadet, and we are proud to have him watch him grow into the man you see before him. Ladies and gentlemen, here to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, I present to you Cadet Captain Quincy Brady of Terra High School.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Okay, I got a little something here for you, and I'm okay with you going in the Marines. It's okay. But on behalf of the superintendent and the entire school board, I want to congratulate you for all your good work.
Thank you, sir.
And I want to say, go Trojans.
Thank you.
And I want to recognize your dad. Hey, Dad, wave, the proud dad over there. Huh? That's awesome. Thank you so much for being here, and I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's see, now we go to item A2, roll call. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
District 9, President Tatman.
Present.
District 4, Vice President Collins. District 1, Mr. Blue.
Here.
District 2, Mr. Lannis. District 3, Mr. Howard. District 5, Ms. Ware Jackson.
Present.
District 6, Ms. Dyson.
Present.
District 7, Mr. Goday.
Present.
District 8, Ms. Bernard.
Present.
We have a quorum.
We have a quorum. Is everyone logged in other than me? Okay. There we are. I don't want Miss April fussing at me later. All right. We move to item B1, approval of the school board minutes of the September 15th, 2022 regular board meeting and the October 6th, 2022 committee of the whole meeting as published in the official journal. Do I have a motion? Moved by Ms. Bernard, seconded by Ms. Dyson. I see no comments from the board. We go to the audience. Are there any comments on the minutes from the audience? Seeing none, back to the board. The board is clear. Madam Secretary, please conduct the vote.
Please vote. The motion carries.
The minutes are approved. We move now to items C1, 2, and 3, which are for information only. The item 1 is monthly financial report. C2 is personnel changes. And C3 is public records request monthly report. Don't see any questions from the board, so we move now to item D1, updates from the superintendent, Dr. Narcisse.
Thank you, President Chapman. Good evening, everyone. Super excited that this month, as many of you are aware, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. As many of us know, next week's Breast Cancer Awareness, actually, it's this week's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. This has been a sickness that have impacted many people. And it's also a very important issue to me personally, as several women in my own family have been diagnosed with this disease and seen battles that they have faced. As a district, we have many close colleagues who have suffered through the trauma of breast cancer, and we want to show our love and support for their struggles and sacrifice as a result. So we have several awareness campaigns throughout the entire week that we encourage all EBR employees to participate and show their support. So please stay tuned for that. You'll be able to see that from our website, www.ebrschools.org. The second thing I wanted to share also is on October the 7th, we had a huge announcement about our new partnership with Apple, our huge collaboration with Apple Computer and the 100 Black Men of Metro Baton Rouge, where Apple donated 500 iPads with this initiative to bridge the literacy and technology gap for underserved students to have equitable access to resources in support of their educational needs. We all know what a major role technology plays in the current education landscape, so we're excited to empower our families with these additional tools. As many of you know, in our community, depending on where you live, the technology gap is real. And our goal is to help make sure that we can continue to close that gap with all the partnerships that help us make this happen across the community. Last but not least, we're super excited to host superintendents from around Louisiana to visit our schools on October 27th, where we will have the large school districts in Louisiana come and visit, looking at some of our SEL work. As I see iCare out there that with Erin and her team, let's give them a hand for the great work they do in our community. They will be showcasing a lot of the work that happens within our district between North Baton Rouge, Mid-City, and South Baton Rouge. And we're so excited to have a resource such as iCare and our other partners to make that happen. We'll also have a national group visiting us in partnership with LSU. National superintendents will be here to visit our district on November 7th from across the country to learn more about the innovative programs that we have launched, such as our LSU Water Coastal School around the STEM and sciences. We're just super excited as we continue to grow the innovation and also the sciences across our system. And that is my report. President Hammond.
Thank you, Superintendent Narcisse, Dr. Narcisse. I don't see any questions from the board. So we move now to item E1. Are there any reports for board appointees to committees or agencies? Mr. Godet.
Yes, I have two from VIPS. First of all, on October 26th between 5 and 7 at the Goodwood Library Plaza, there will be a Halloween fest, and DJ Tony King will provide music, and they ask you to dress in your best costume, bring your pets or children, and I guess you could bring your pets and or your children in their spookiest attire, and there will be food trucks and pumpkin decorating and a contest for the costume, the best costume. So that is October 26th between 5 and 7 on the Goodwood Library Plaza. And they have, I think you can purchase tickets on the website, or I'm sure you can purchase them in person. And the other thing also for VIPs is on Wednesday, November the 9th, at the new restaurant here to Baton Rouge called Off the Hook, which is on Coursey Boulevard, on November 9th between 5 p.m. and 9 p.m. On a Wednesday. All of the orders, 10% of the sales will go to the work for VIPs. So I ask you to encourage you to patronize that local restaurant and help out VIPs at the same time. I've actually eaten there, and the food is very good. So thank you very much, President Tapman.
Thank you, Mr. Godet, and maybe we could you just get a reminder on that day so we can make some plans and maybe buy office lunch or something and see if
5 to 9 p.m. You work your people hard, I'm sure.
we don't let them leave until 10. Sid, thank you. Miss Ware Jackson.
Thank you, Mr. Tapman. I am representing the board and the district in this wonderful collaboration between two SEC and NFL legends this weekend. Patrick Willis of Ole Miss and Eric Reed from LSU are collaborating to open a fitness zone. It's called 5235 BRLA Fitness Zone. And these men are coming together and are collaborating to open this over on at the old Salvation Army area. It's 4025 West Brookstown. We will have a ribbon cutting on Saturday morning, and we're so excited to bring this to the Brookstown area, and followed immediately by a youth fitness activities event led by the two legends, Patrick and Eric, at the Salvation Army. So that's on Saturday, and it's 4025 West Brookstown Drive. We want to bring out our youth to come and play, so to speak, with these guys. So we're looking forward to that, and that's at 9:30 on Saturday morning.
Thank you, Ms. Ware Jackson. See no other board members who wish to report, so we move to item F1. And Ms. Dyson, do you have a resolution? Consideration of a request to adopt a resolution proclaiming October 22nd as Red Ribbon Month and October 23rd through 31st, 2022 as Red Ribbon Week. Ms. Dyson.
Yes, thank you. Whereas we are committed to education and the nurturing of full potential for all, and whereas the East Baton Rouge Parish School System believes in and strives for healthy, safe, and drug-free school environments, and whereas the citizens of East Baton Rouge Parish are encouraged to join the rest of our nation as we remember and honor national and local heroes who have lost their lives in the fight against substance abuse. And whereas as citizens of East Baton Rouge Parish, we join with teachers, parents, administrators, and parish officials in encouraging all children to become productive individuals and to maintain healthy lifestyles. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the East Baton Rouge Parish School Board does hereby proclaim the month of October 2022 as I Care Red Ribbon Month in conjunction with National Red Ribbon Week, October 23rd through 31st, 2022. Therefore, be it resolved that the East Baton Rouge Parish School Board encourages all schools to plan and develop activities to promote healthy, safe, and drug-free lifestyles. And I so move.
Moved by Ms. Dyson, seconded by Ms. Ware Jackson. We have anyone who wants to present or come speak? There we go. Welcome.
Thank you, President Tapman, Dr. Narcisse, members of the board. Thank you for your support in our work of prevention education. Our theme this year is Celebrate Life, Live Drug Free. And we have already been out in the schools doing a lot of work around our theme this year. I would like to introduce some of my team that's here tonight. We have Erlisha Selders, Joy Duhan.
Y'all come on up.
Y'all come on
Come
up.
on up.
Chandra DeLone, Mamie Landry, Kenya Huggins, Maureen Laurent. And lastly, I have Tanya Chapman Griffin. She's our quality assurance manager, and she will be speaking as well.
I want to get a picture. You need to get a picture of this guy.
Brought all of us.
I love it. I love it. And if you would have told me, I would have worn my red shirt. I would have done it.
You're here, and we appreciate that. And thank you so much for allowing us to come up even with our own children. Thank you
That's
so much
beautiful.
for the opportunity to serve our district for over 40 years
Wow.
and to help us in representing Red Ribbon, not only week, but in our Red Ribbon Month and within our school district, doing drug, alcohol, and violence prevention, again, for over 40 years, celebrating within the school system, the community, in our district. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're excited to say that our schools will be celebrating starting today, actually, the events in the classrooms with the teachers. You will see not only activities, classroom lessons, you will see festivities, you'll see activities, you see parents having things sent home. And so we're looking forward to seeing more as time evolves. We know that drugs are taking a turn, and so will also some of the creative ways that we'll be attempting to help dissolve a decrease in use and misuse. So again, thank you for allowing us to serve.
Well, thank you, because you guys and gals are critical to what we do, and not only just in the drug prevention and that sort of thing, but when there are events that happen, you all are the first ones out there, and we really appreciate the work that you do. You are critical to helping those young people cope with things, and we just love you to death. And so the superintendent wants to come around and take a picture with you. So y'all come right up here and face that way. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. I'm gonna go. Mark. I don't know if the picture helps.
Always wear red.
It's the Republic. Did you get us all in, or do we need to hold our breath? Turn sideways. Thank you so much. Thank all. Okay, great stuff. We now move to item G. Oh, we do? I'm sorry. I'm being corrected. I like that. You've been taking lessons from my wife? No, I'm just kidding. I see no other questions from the board, so we go to the audience on the resolution. Any comments from the audience on the resolution? Seeing none, we come back to the board. The board is clear. Madam Secretary, please conduct the vote.
Please vote. The motion carries.
Thank you. The resolution is approved, and thank you, Ms. Armand, for keeping me in line. We move now to G, a consent agenda, and I think, Mr. Gode, is that yours?
The following items are to be approved as part of the consent agenda and are considered to be routine and will be enacted with one motion. There will be no separate discussion of items unless a board member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered as an item on the regular agenda for a separate vote preceding the last item on the regular agenda. 2, call for election. Consideration of a request for the approval of a resolution to call for the election of the renewal of the property taxes on March 25th, 2023. 3, land purchase, South Baton Rouge property. Consideration of request for the approval of the execution of a purchase agreement for the purchase of land in the southern part of the parish and to authorize the general counsel and board president to execute any and all documents to finalize the purchase of that property. Funding tax plan. 4, memorandum of understanding, Our Lady of the Lake University. Consideration of a request for the approval of an MOU between East Baton Rouge Parish School Board and Our Lady of the Lake University to provide MSW students with an opportunity for practical experiences in the area of social work, strategic alignment, student achievement. Memorandum of understanding, collaborative classrooms. Consideration of a request for the approval of an MOU between East Baton Rouge Parish School Board and Collaborative Classrooms for a pilot to include systematic instruction in phonological awareness, phonics, and sight words, SIPPS program. Number 6, professional services contract, federal. Consideration of a request for the approval of the professional services contract between the East Baton Rouge Parish School Board and the following. A, Notable Incorporated, CAMI, in the amount of $63,378.15 to provide an online annotation system. Strategic Alignment, Student Achievement, Funding Source, ESSER 2, Action 2. B, Instructor Incorporated, in the amount of $31,641 to provide an online learning management system. Strategic Alignment, Employee Development, Funding Source, ESSER 3, Action 2. C, Keys to Literacy, in the amount of $32,400 to provide professional development to improve teacher proficiencies and skills in literacy. Strategic Alignment, Student Achievement, Funding Source, Comprehensive Literacy State Development, CLSC CIR/UIR K-5. 7, Professional Services Contract, General Fund. Consideration of a request for the approval of a professional services contract between the East Baton Rouge Parish School Board and the Louisiana Association of the Deaf, doing business as Deaf Focus, in the amount of $30,000 to provide sign language services. Strategic Alignment, Exemplary Customer Service, Funding Source, General Fund. 8, Eliminated Job Descriptions. Consideration of a request for the approval to eliminate the obsolete job descriptions as referenced in the document, Eliminated Job Descriptions. Strategic Alignment, Operational Excellence. The individual job descriptions can be found in a link attached to the documents in to this memo in Board Docs. 9, revised salary schedule. Consideration of request for the approval of the revised 2022-2023 salary schedule. 10, cooperative endeavor agreement. Consideration of a request for the approval of a cooperative endeavor agreement between East Baton Rouge Parish School Board and Baton Rouge North Economic Development District to receive an allocation of $50,000 to provide at-risk or disconnected youth the opportunity to participate in the school's dual enrollment culinary arts program. Strategic Alignment, Student Achievement, Funding Source, State of Louisiana. 11, policies and policy revisions. consideration of a request for the approval of the following school board policies, policy revisions, and related matters. BE, school board ethics. EDD, school bus scheduling and routing. GAAA, equal opportunity employment. GAMB, employee dress code. JAA, equal education opportunities. JCBD, student dress code. GBRIB, sick leave. JCDAH, hazing. JCDAF, bullying. IDDFA, Special Education Advisory Council. IDDFC, cameras in special education classrooms. JQA, expectant and parenting students. JBD, student absences and excuses. JD, discipline. JGC, student health services. JGCD, administration of medication. And JM, student voter registration. This is the end of the consent agenda items, and I so move.
Seconded by Mr. Lannis. Does any member wish to pull an item? Mr. Lannis?
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, I want to pull item 10 and item 11.
Okay, Mr. Baloo?
11's already been pulled, so we're covered.
Thank you. Ms. Ware Jackson?
Item 9.
Okay. Any other? So we're consented.
Guys,
Oh, I don't see her, Ms.
I
Dyson.
know, I'm sorry. Number 5. 5.
Okay. So we're on the consent agenda, which is items 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8. I see the board does not have any questions on the consent agenda. Are there any comments from the audience on the consent agenda? Don't see any cards, so I'll go back to the board. The board is clear. Madam Secretary, please conduct the vote. Okay.
Please vote. Please vote now. The motion carries.
Those items are approved. We move now to G5, consideration of a request for approval of an MOU between the East Baton Rouge Parish School Board and Collaborative Classrooms for a pilot to include systemic instruction on phonological awareness, phonics, and sight words. Do I have a motion? Moved by Ms. Bernard, seconded by Mr. Goday. Any questions or comments from the board? I don't see anything on the board. The board's clear.
Wait.
Okay, Ms. Dyson.
Yes, is Miss Lashney, she's not here? Okay. So I just, some things kind of jumped out, and I just wanted some clarity. So I am a literacy proponent all the way, and this really looks like a wonderful program, and I'm so excited. that we are piloting it. I just want to make sure that we are using the program with fidelity, because it seems that we're doing a pilot, and on their website, they speak that all students should participate in the program, and English language learners and dyslexic learners specific would be tiered based on their individual needs, but that all students would have the instruction. So I just wanted to make sure that the way that the MOU reads is the way we're actually going to implement it. And there was just something that was said apparently that kind of left some uncertainty with that only certain students were going to be using it for this pilot. And I just wanted to make sure that we're doing it the way that they have developed this program with fidelity.
We can get the exact which group is doing the pilot, but it's just a pilot. The goal is to see if it works with variation of students. So it'll be a broad sample group, and then if that works out well, then we can scale. So that's
Okay.
but
So
we
we
can-
will,
we can
all
let the-
students.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
Good
ma'am.
deal. I just wanted to make sure that the data that we get, because every child, I believe, needs phonics.
Yes.
And so, and I think the combination of the phonics and the whole word language, what is it?
Whole language.
Whole language.
Yes.
And so, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Dyson. I see no cards from comments from the audience. Any comments from the audience? Seeing none, we come back to the board. The board is clear. And Madam Secretary, will you please conduct the vote?
Please vote. The motion carries.
The item is approved. We move now to item G9, consideration of a request for the approval of the revised 2022-2023 salary schedule. Is there a motion? Moved by Ms. Ware Jackson, seconded by Mr. Gode. Ms. Ware Jackson.
Thank you, Ms. Tapman. Actually, I would like to move to defer this item if there is something that is incorrect in it. I was looking at an email, but trying to find whether this is accurate or not. It suggests that we have 9 cabinet members, right, at a particular salary scale. And with one promotion, it may suggest that there are 10 cabinet level positions, and because of the level of pay. Dr. Narcisse, can you elaborate on that? Did you receive, or you in this, did you see this, the questions around whether we really have this correctly in the schedule?
Just
Is
a
it there?
point
Are
of
there
order real
10?
quick. We had a motion and a second. What was the motion? I wanted to make
Yeah, because the motion is to approve it, and you're the maker of the motion, so you can't make a substitute motion.
Actually, that was a request to speak, so.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, I made that mistake. I saw your hand go up, and I'm sure whoever, let's see, Mr. Gode will. Yeah, so you withdraw your motion, Mr. Gode makes the motion, Mr. Lannis seconds the motion to approve, and now you have the floor if you want to make a substitute motion.
Yeah, let me make the substitute motion to defer the item. But I would like some clarity, Dr. Narcisse, on that.
Is there a second to the motion to defer the item? Okay, that motion dies for lack of a second, so we are back on the main motion, but you have the floor.
Yeah, Dr. Narcisse, would you clarify that, whether I think you received this email, and I just want to make sure that when we do approve this, that it is correct, that whether it's 9 cabinet members or 10.
So let me get Ms. Hall. Could you, Chief Hall, would you mind coming up for this, for the revised salary schedule? Share with the board on the
Sure. Good evening, everyone. So you're referring to, I'm going to just call the title if that's what you're referring to, the Chief of Plant Operations. Is that what you're referring to? That is,
Yes.
which,
It's
so that is a position that replaced the Chief Officer for Student Support Services.
So it does not change the number
No,
of.
it's at 8101. It will remain on 8101. As per the
Okay. Well, no, it's actually, that's not the position.
Which position are you referring to? My position? So that's okay. I'm a big girl. That's okay.
Yeah, I've been looking at him like, oh, I see the name here. Yeah.
So you're referring to my position? Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah.
don't worry about
I'm
it.
just trying to figure out, is it 9 or 10? Does that make it 10 if that position moves to the cabinet level?
Yes, that does make it 10.
10 positions.
So in the salary schedule, is it listed as 9 cabinet members or 10?
The original salary schedule, I think it's the 10th. I have to double check, but I think it is.
Is it right now listed as 9 cabinet members or 10? Do we need to make a change is the question.
So I just want to make sure I understand. So you're asking if in the salary schedule, how many cabinet members list?
Yes, and does this promotion increase the number of members of the cabinet based on the salary?
So there's no promotion.
There's no promotion. It's just.
So, okay. So when Council of Great City Schools was here and they did their audit, they made the recommendation that the Chief of Human Resources must directly report to the superintendent. So this was back in March, I think it was. So there's no promotion. So I'm still the chief of HR. I just report directly to the superintendent at the senior cabinet level.
And if you recall, Board Member Jackson, when the executive director of the council came, we began to discuss, which the board looked at, on how to begin to reconfigure human resources to be able to make sure that we work operationally efficient. And that was actually, I think that was the first recommendation made in the report.
Correct.
For that shift.
And it's actually 10 on the original
Yes, 10
salary
on the
schedule.
original.
So
Okay,
I just
that's
had
what I
my
wanted
team
to
check.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to make sure of,
Okay.
that we weren't making a change without having to do some kind of board action
Oh,
first.
no, I always stay in the black and white. I promise.
I know you like to drive down that bright lane. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for the
Oh, you're
clarity on
welcome.
that.
Anytime.
So much.
Thank you, Ms. Ware Jackson. See no other comments from the board. We go to the audience that don't have a card. Any other comments from the audience? Seeing none, back to the board. Madam Secretary, the board is clear. Please conduct the vote.
Please vote. The motion carries.
Item is approved. We now move to item G10, consideration of a request for the approval of a cooperative endeavor agreement between the East Baton Rouge Parish School Board and the Baton Rouge North Economic Development District to receive an allocation of $50,000 to provide at-risk or disconnected youth the opportunity to participate in the school board's dual enrollment culinary arts program, strategic alignment, student achievement, funding source, State of Louisiana. Do I have Mr. Lannis moves and Ms. Bernard seconds? Mr. Lannis?
Thank you, Mr. President. I only pulled this item so that this amazing group has the adequate amount of time to, one, present their check, but also just state why they felt the need to give such a great endeavor to the East Baton Rouge Parish school system. So first, I want to say thank you to your organization and all the great work that you are doing. It is an amazing feat to understand and know that we have community partners that still want to invest with our school system because we are doing the right thing, and this right here lets us know that we're doing the right thing. So thank you all, and I give you the floor.
Yeah, why don't y'all come up and we're clapping. We haven't passed it yet, but we're close.
Good sign.
I'll just sit this right here.
Oh, there you go. Look, we'll take it.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for allowing the Baton Rouge North Economic Development District to come here this evening. Our state senator had to leave, Regina Barrow. It is because of her this organization exists. She created the economic development for North Baton Rouge about 4 years ago. Our mission and purpose is to support small businesses and to drive economic development in North Baton Rouge. And part of our strategic plan is education and building a workforce pipeline. And we were at a board meeting, and we had been looking for partners to invest in our youth in the area of culinary arts and training. And you all came to mind, especially with the new Pathways program that I think you had recently announced that we had read in the paper. And so we thought it was a great partnership. Ms. Spalding, she was assigned to connect with us. And I would say in the past couple of months, we've had a great opportunity to create this CEA, and we asked for your approval. And we have our executive director, April Hawthorne, here today, and we'd like to just present you all with this check of $50,000. And we love a picture if someone's available for
Oh,
photo.
yeah, we would love to do that. Yeah, everybody would love to do that. Thank you.
Right. Okay. Three, two, one. 1, 2, 3. All right. That's it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
That's some amazing stuff, and I want to reiterate Senator Barrow's role in this because she really is a rock star, supporting education and going to the state and getting those dollars is a big deal. And thank you so much for the work that you do. So I don't see the board is clear. Are there any comments from the audience on this item? I don't have any cards, so we'll come back to the board. Madam Secretary, please conduct the vote.
Please vote. The motion carries.
And it's official. Thank you so much. We appreciate you all. Thank you. And here's the check. Okay, so we move to item G11, consideration of a request for the approval of the following school board policy revisions and related matters. BE, school board ethics. EDD, school bus scheduling and routing. GAAA, equal opportunity employment. GAMB, employee dress code, JAA, equal education opportunities, JCDB, student dress code, GBRIB, sick leave, JCDAH, hazing, JCDAF, bullying, IDDFA, Special Education Advisory Council, IDDFC, cameras in the special education classrooms, JQA, expectant and parenting students, JBD, student absences and excuses, JD, discipline, JGC, student health services, JGCD, administration of medication, and JM, student voter registration. Mr. Blue, you have a motion?
Yes, council has asked that we pull the sick leave policy revision, that's GBRIB, for further consideration and study. So I'm going to move that we approve the policy revisions without the sick leave revision.
Okay. Is there a second to that? Seconded by Ms. Dyson. Let's see now. Make sure I'm good. Mr. Blue, you were on the board for the motion. Is that what that was? Okay, thank you. Mr. Lannis?
Sir, thank you, Mr. President. I wanted to pull this item to further a conversation that we had at our last board meeting as it pertained to an event that happened with the Day of Hope. I think that there was some pressing concerns, but there were also some really good comments that came out of that conversation. One of which was, inside of our policies, we don't have anything that dictates any discrimination against those who may feel like they are being attacked in terms of sexual orientation or sexual identity. I have, since that time, spoken with our attorney just to make sure that, again, that covers us in the future so that if anything like this ever happens again, that we are not threatened or poised to have to go to court behind it. And we protect ourselves as a board and also as a system. So I would, I guess, refer to the attorney to ask the question, is it something that we could add later, or is it something, sorry, go ahead.
Thank you, Ms. Landis. I'll just speak briefly. I'm always open to policy revisions as long as they align with law, federal and state. And so I know we've talked about discussing potential future revisions. Policies are always subject to potential revision at board member recommendation. So I know that you've asked to meet and talk about this over the next month or two. We can certainly bring some revisions as soon as they're ready. So we're open. I'm open to that as long as the board is open to considering and approving.
Yes, sir. Again, I just want to bring that up as, again, as I guess, a forward-thinking board protection.
Yeah,
system protection.
Thank you, Mr. Lance. I appreciate that. I do not see any other questions from board members, and I do not have a card from the audience. Any comments from the audience? Seeing none, back to the board, Ms. Ware Jackson.
Thank you, sir. And I know Mr. Shamlin knows I'm always going to ask the questions about just giving us an overview of the policy revisions.
Yes, ma'am. I was waiting.
Just a bird's eye view. You know I'm coming.
Yeah, I'll be very brief. We have a number of revisions, almost all coming out of legislative updates from the previous session, the 2022 session. I will try to just cover the big ones or the ones that kind of jump out the most. We have a school board ethics revision that now there's a requirement for immediate family members of school board members or superintendent to be promoted to an administrative position. It adds that requirement that the family member must have been employed by the school board for at least a year. So it revises that policy. We have several revisions, and I won't go through each one, but at least 4 policies are all being revised in accordance with requirements that we now address non-discrimination with regard to a person's cultural hairstyle. And those are policies GAAA, GAMB, JAA, and JCDB. All of those policies have been revised to recognize the non-discrimination in that capacity. We have a new policy on hazing, which gives extra bite to our policies on harassment. It just gives an extra definition of hazing and allows us to further ban or prohibit that behavior. There's some revisions to the bullying policy that are really more contextual in the sense that the law itself has shifted and changed in terms of its order, and so the policy is shifted and changed in accordance with the change in the law. Not really a substantive change, but more an order change with regard to that policy. We have one of the big policy changes, and there's some training coming to staff around this, are the cameras in certain special education classrooms policy. That is a new policy arising out of the law. It's been on the books for a while, but because of funding issues, this is the first year where we now have to consider and approve it as a board. The staff has met repeatedly with me to work up a protocol, which we'll share with the board as well once this policy is approved, which will set in course the rules associated with this policy and the implementation. But essentially, this is a new policy with regard to special education classrooms. We have two new policies, one new policy, well, actually a revision expected in parenting students, and also student absences and excuses. That is revised in accordance with us working with students who are expecting. And so now there are certain rights and expectations that the board will have for staff in terms of allowances for students who are expecting and absences with regard to those students. There's some changes to the discipline law that are more minor wording changes. There's some student health service. There's a change to student health services related to seizure disorders. And parents can now submit a seizure management and treatment plan that we must now comply and work with. There's an administration of medication with regard to auto-injectable epinephrine, which has to be provided in secure locations in classrooms assigned to students who have who face that challenge. And we have a new student voter registration policy, which lays out the requirements and what the staff can and can't do, and what the system can and can't do with regard to student voter registration, which I welcome and make my job a lot easier. So that is now in the books as well. That is the overall summary of the current policy revisions proposed by council to the board, and I'll take any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Shamlin. I appreciate the bird's eye view for the public.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Ware-Jackson. The board is clear. Madam Secretary, please conduct the vote.
Please vote. The motion carries.
Thank you. The item is approved. We now move, that's the end of the consent agenda and related items. We now move to H1, a presentation from BRAYN. Dr. Narcisse.
Thank you, President Chapman. As many of you know, when I arrived, we've been working tremendously hard to bring all of our partners together to work under one umbrella to be able to support all of our communities in Baton Rouge. We've been excited by that, and we partnered with Big Buddy and other major partners for what we call the Baton Rouge Area Youth Network. One of the challenges that we had originally was we had multiple partners servicing multiple schools, either duplicating services or not providing full implementation of services. And so we are excited that all of those 90 partners have come together, and which has been much more efficient and effective to service all of our community. And so I'm so excited as we are now close to a good year into this work. So I invite up Ms. Gay from Big Buddy and any of the other BRAYN team members to present to the board.
Thank you, Dr. Narcisse. To the school board members, administration, parents, concerned citizens, it is a pleasure for me today to be the spokesperson for the Baton Rouge Area Youth Network, or BRAYN, as we are called. BRAYN is a network of over 60 organizations dedicated to providing high quality, accessible, and equitable youth development opportunities to students in the East Baton Rouge Parish School System. The BRAYN members work collaboratively to ensure resources are leveraged and targeted at students and families who need them. BRAYN members believe the best strategy to ensure all young people have positive role models, expanded learning experiences, and opportunities to explore their gifts and talents is school-community partnerships. School community partnerships is widely recognized as a standard of practice for school improvement. When young people do not do well in school, that is a warning sign for those of us who are responsible for the development of that child. Raise your hand if you are responsible for the development of children. Very good. Everyone is responsible for the development of children. And so we must all work together to solve the problem when that problem is presented. School community partnerships are the resolution. I am going to borrow some words from our superintendent when I say, Baton Rouge does not have a resource challenge, it has a coordination challenge. Coordination is what BRAIN has proposed to do. Currently, in our network, we have certified schools partners who are ready to provide expanded learning opportunities, integrated student supports during the day and after school, meaningful family and community engagement opportunities, and so much more. We are looking forward to working with Mr. Brickhouse, Dr. Jackson, Ms. Griffin, and Ms. Lyles to coordinate the resources our members have to offer to the schools that need them. When schools and communities link together, progress, peace, and prosperity are the outcomes. Today, we pause. Today is the day. We want you to join us in after schools throughout the country to celebrate Lights On After School. We celebrate all that after school programs do to keep young people safe, to inspire learning, and to provide care while parents complete their workday. You should know that in this district alone, the State Department of Education has awarded 8 entities, including East Baton Rouge Parish School System, a 21st Century Community Learning Center grant. These grants will provide over 2,000 children each year for the next 5 years with an after-school and summer program. This is, y'all should be clapping. 5 years, we're good. First time, Big Buddy has received 21st Century grants since 2001. And this is the first time our state has done that for 5 years. And we need the 5 years to make sure we get it right. Yes. This is a yearly financial contribution to East Baton Rouge Parish of right at $3.5 million each year for the next 5 years for after school and summer. You should know also that for every child in after school, there are 2 waiting to get in. So we still need more resources to help those young people. But today we want you to help us shine a light on the impact after school programs have during the rest of this month by getting involved. That's what we're asking you, board members. There are 3 ways you can do that, easy ways. 1, visit an after-school program over the next 2 weeks and read a book to a group of students. Come and tell them what you do and share, bring your world of work into the school. You can make a donation to an after-school program to help take care of those 2,000 youth times 2 who are not in after-school programs. Or you can lend your resources to create an experience for youth in your district. Invite them to your place of work. Host a luncheon and invite your friends to talk to them about careers. There are many things that you can do to help make a difference for our young people. I want to have colleagues that are here from BRAIN introduce themselves. I don't want you to think this is just a Big Buddy thing. This is really a collaborative effort. And so I'm going to invite them to come up and introduce themselves.
Good afternoon. I'm Muriel Harrison. I serve as the Executive Director for the Gardere Initiative, and we have an after-school program. I hope you read my opinion in the newspaper this morning. And what I said is that Two problems that has been facing East Baton Rouge Parish is the high youth-related crimes and the low reading rates. We address both of those issues with our after-school program. So we are asking you to support us in the work that we are doing. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I am Reggie Carter. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for Boys and Girls Clubs of Metro Louisiana. Super excited to be before you all. Thank you so much for this time. Just recently moved here to the area in July, and I am just been overwhelmed by the support and just the vision that exists here. I came here from Boys and Girls Club of Southeast Virginia, been in the youth development business for the last 20 years, and I say I'm utterly impressed by everything that is going on here. And I'm so excited and so happy to be a part of everything that's going on here. Dr. Narcisse and their vision. Again, I just thank you all for just your support. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we are in 3 East Baton Rouge schools. We're going to be doing some big things coming up as well. We also are one of those 21st Century Grant awardees. And so again, I just want to just thank you all for just your continued support. Thank you.
Good evening. I am Jasmine Johnson, the administrator for Brain. Y'all feel sorry for me? No, I'm just we are so excited about this. I get to be in the work every day and feel the passion of all of the members and the parents. The parents are really excited to hear that we're going to have this, or we do have this one hub to make it easy for them to find programming for all of their kids at the same time. I really wish this was available when my kids were growing up. So I'm excited to be in that work. And I just want to share with you all, I reach out to other networks to see how they're doing. It has been shared with me that we are a lot further along in this process than a lot of other networks. So with your continued support, I think we are, we're going to do something really, really impactful for all the students in East Baton Rouge Parish. Thank y'all so much.
All right, and that concludes our presentation. Thank you, Dr. Narcisse. Thank you, board members, for your support. And this is a great time for EBR. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lannis. You had, were you on the board?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And I just wanted to shout Brain out.
Yeah.
Because my organization, 100 Black Men in Metro Baton Rouge, as executive director, we are currently within that network, and we love everything about it, from the meetings to the cohesion of organizations around our city doing some phenomenal things. Hearing that the 21st Century Grant was not only accepted and approved, but for 5 years. Again, that has never happened. Normally, that grant goes for 3 years tops, but the fact that they did 5 years, it says a lot. Yeah. And I want to take even though he's not here tonight, I want to take something out of Mr. Howard's or colleague Howard's playbook, is what he said last week, was that these are the things that you don't hear about from media. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to take a second to say this to local media. This is not an attack towards you, but I will say this. We need more attention towards programs like these, so our community can see the great works that are happening out of our school system. Everything is not always bad. Fights are not happening every day. People are not mad every single day. There are a lot of people in this system that are doing great work, that come to work with a smile on their face every day. And for the ones that are not, we're working through those problems. I just want to say that for the record. But thank you, Brain. Continue doing the great work that you're doing, and whatever we can do to help assist, we will continue to do so. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lannis. We still have a couple of comments. Ms. Ware Jackson.
Thank you, President Tadman. I just, I've been part of Brain since the inception, and y'all know how we were so excited to finally get an administrator so that, all the Brain members wouldn't have to be so pulled into doing all these different things. And so, we applaud you. We're so glad that you're with us. Yes, indeed. So I'm just so glad that we've come to this moment. How wonderful that is to have the school system all on board and our superintendent involved, and it's just so exciting. I'm working with that through my community development work but I volunteer. You were talking about volunteering, and I highly recommend it, board members, to volunteer in some of these programs. I've been volunteering at Melrose, and helping kids with homework and doing games and all that stuff. And sometimes I find myself saying that, asking the other members who are there, are you smarter than a fifth grader? When we start doing the homework, it's like, wait a minute, we need a little remediation here, So, I just want to say thank you for leading this, for spearheading this, and all of the wonderful things about getting all of the nonprofits together. We're able to get to know one another better and find out who's doing what and collaborate so that we're not duplicating things and actually complementing one another. So this is a wonderful thing, and I'm so excited. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ware Jackson. Ms. Dyson.
Thank you for being here, all of you. Thank you for this initiative. So appreciated. It is so, so good to have you back up at that mic speaking to us about partnership with you. I just cannot be more excited.
Thank you. And I cannot be more excited to have a posse this time.
Exactly.
We have a posse.
Exactly.
Good.
Well, welcome home.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think you need to bring some more energy to this.
Just a little bit.
I'm just kidding. I'm going to make a request. Could you send us just some links that we can have in our email so that we can quickly access the different programs?
Yes.
Because a lot of people come to me and say, how can I help? And I know other board members get that request. So if you could just send us a
Absolutely.
cheat sheet or with some links on it, I think we could make some things happen.
And that's exactly what Brain is about, because
Yeah.
before you'd have to go to 4, 5, 6,
Right.
10 different people, you can go to one place.
You bet.
Absolutely. Thank you for asking.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. That concludes the remarks, but I think the superintendent wants a picture.
So just want to ask, is it possible the Brain group could come back and the board can take a picture with the Brain folks? Please come on up.
It's picture night.
You don't have a check.
You got a 5 minutes.
Thank you all so much. What exciting things. And I agree with Mr. Lannis. We need to promote the positive things. And there are so many great things going on in our district. We move now to item H2, update on redistricting. Mr. Shamlin?
Yes, sir. I don't have a significant update from the committee of the whole meeting. I did update the memo to include a compilation of all costs in addition to attorney's fees at the request of a board member. So that is the only significant change from the last update. As you know, the appeals court did reverse the trial court's decision to enjoin Plan 22. So Plan 22 is now the plan selected by the board going forward. And so we are we are at that point, and there are no new updates or reports unless there are questions.
Ms. Ware Jackson.
Isn't there still a trial coming forward?
There's nothing said at this point. And so once I have more information, I'll let you know. The matter is still in the trial court, but no further action's been taken.
So no updates on any
No, ma'am.
timelines?
Not at this point.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ware Jackson. I have a question, Counselor. How does it work if we were to, what is the process by which we would seek penalties and attorney's fees?
Well, we're looking into that with special counsel.
Okay.
The attorney's fees are significant, at least by my measure.
Okay.
And so we believe that because it would require a reconventional demand, which is a new action, this board might have to take a vote to pursue that.
All right.
This is something we're looking into. I'll
Maybe in the next update, you can kind of give us an update.
Yes,
on
sir.
that. Appreciate it. See no other comments or questions from the board. We move now to organizational items, announcement of meetings. Ms. Bernard, I think that's you. You go.
Announcement of meetings. Jefferson Terrace Academy ribbon cutting is to be held on October 26, 2022 at 10 a.m. at Jefferson Terrace Academy. Some or all board members may attend. Board workshop to be held on October 27, 2022, 5 to 6:30 p.m. at the central office boardroom. Committee of the Whole is to be held on November 3rd, 2022 at 5 p.m. in the central office board meeting. And I move adjournment.
We have a couple of people who are on the board. Mr. Lannis?
I just want to use a point of personal privilege. I just want to say that President Tapman now holds the record for the quickest regular board meeting in history.
Come on, give me some love. Give me some love. Give me some love.
We love it. We love it.
Thank you, Mr. Lannis. I love it too, by the way. Ms. Ware Jackson.
Thanks to a really light agenda, we appreciate that. I did have a question around the board workshop coming up on the 27th? What's the purpose of the workshop?
The purpose of the workshop is to discuss early childhood education. We'll be hearing from our partnership that we partner with the Louisiana Policy Institute. The board had, if you recall, wanted a strategic plan to be laid out on how we would address expansion of early child from 0 to 4.
Yes.
So we'll have in-depth conversation on that.
Okay. All right. Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ware Jackson. Ms. Bernard moves we adjourn. Seeing no objection, we're adjourned. Thank you.